All right, deputies, are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Marcus Thorpe, and it is 10 a.m. here on May 18th, and this is the first appearance for the Clayton County Courthouse. Again, my name is Judge Marcus Thorpe, and I'm one of the associate magistrate judges here in Clayton County. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of announcements here that I need to make for you all. First and foremost is to let you know that we are live. And so please keep that in mind as you speak to me here this morning, because anything you say could potentially be used against you, because you make not only myself, but everyone on this recording and everyone around you potential witnesses in your case. Ladies and gentlemen, first, this is not the time to try your case. I'm not here to take a plea or have any legal discussion with you about the specific facts about your case. The purpose of today's hearing, your first appearance, is to inform you what you've been charged with, to advise you of certain rights, to set bond on those offenses where I am authorized to do so, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney if you qualify. Now, ladies and gentlemen, each of you has the right to remain silent. So again, please do not attempt to tell me about the specific facts of your case or defense you believe you have, because this is being recorded. In addition to the right to remain silent, each of you has the right to a presumption of innocence, the right to an indictment by grand jury for felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, the right to have an attorney represent you if you qualify for one. And also, if you are not a citizen, ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind that some of these charges may negatively affect your immigration status. And so if in fact you are not a citizen, please do consult an immigration attorney after today's hearing. Now, as I said, among the things that I am permitted to do here at your first appearance, one of them is to give you bond. Bond is that amount of money that you are permitted to pay to allow you to be out while your case is pending. There are three ways to make bond. You can do it by cash, commercial, or by property. If you do it by cash, ladies and gentlemen, that would mean that you or someone you know would need to come down to the sheriff's office and to bring to the sheriff the total amount that I will tell you today that your bond is, plus any applicable fees that the sheriff will add. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have the full amount in bond, you can do what's called a commercial bond. A commercial bond is where you pay anywhere from 12 to 15% of the bond amount to a commercial bonding company. The difference is you don't get that money back. On a cash bond, you do. On a commercial, you don't. The example I like to use is that if you are charged with battery family violence, and I tell you that your bond amount is $6,000, you would come down to the sheriff's office with that $6,000 plus any fees, and the sheriff will hold it until your case is closed. With the commercial bond, you would, out of $6,000, you'd be responsible for about $750, but you don't get it back. The final way to make bond will be a property bond. Again, that's where either you or someone you know owns a piece of property, but they have to have at least 3 times the amount of the amount of equity in that property. So if your bond is $6,000, they would need to own a piece of property worth at least $18,000 in equity. And then they would bring that deed to the property down to the sheriff's office, where the sheriff will hold it and then return it once your case is over. Now, to go along with bond, there are what we call special conditions. One of which is, I will tell some of you all, depending on what you are charged with, that you are to have no contact with the alleged victim. That means you are not to email them, write them, call them, text them, DM them, have any communication at all. Not even as simple as write them a song. Because if I tell you to have no contact with them and you do so, you subject yourself to additional influencing of a witness charges or aggravated stalking, which are both felonies and carry fines of up to $20,000. So don't do it, ladies and gentlemen. In addition to stay away, from time to time, I will tell ladies and gentlemen here this morning, in fact, to not return to a particular area. If I tell you this morning, do not return somewhere, please do not do it. I understand that it may be somewhere that you were living. However, you will have the opportunity to go back if you were released on bond within 10 days of your release, but with the sheriff. That is the only time that you are allowed to go back unless your bond is modified or your case is closed. Now, the last thing we will talk about today is what are called preliminary hearings. If you are charged with a felony and you do not make bond, you automatically will get a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is where you are present, the judge is present, your attorney is present. It is not your trial, but it's where they go over the facts of your case to determine if there is enough evidence to move to the next stage with the prosecutor. Now, if you are charged with a misdemeanor, you have the right to a preliminary hearing. You're not guaranteed it because you may not want it. So if you are charged with a misdemeanor, and I will tell you this morning if you are, I will then ask you, do you want your preliminary hearing? And then you can either tell me one of two things. You can say, yes, Judge, I would like my hearing, or you can say, no, Judge, I do not want my hearing. If you do not want your hearing, you will sign a piece of paper this morning, and I will move your case along a little faster to the prosecutor where it hopefully will get resolved. If you do want your hearing, I'll give you an additional court date here this morning. Now, with that, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have everyone please raise their right hand. And I need you all to say I do at the appropriate time. Do each of you swear or affirm that the information that you provided in your court-appointed counsel is what you will provide here this morning will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And if you do, I need you to say I do.
Yes.
Okay. Deputy, do we have any Spanish-speaking individuals for the interpreter this morning?
Yes, we have one.
Okay, and is that Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
All right, if you want to go ahead and bring her up.
Ladies, go back in 6. Males, go back in 11. After the females, we'll do the males. Go back in 11.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Garcia. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, Ms. Day, if you want to introduce yourself first.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Buenos días, señora García. Mi nombre es Deyanira Bermúdez y yo voy a ser su intérprete en la mañana de hoy.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Garcia. My name is Judge Marcus Thorpe.
Buenos días, señora García. Yo soy el juez Marcus Thorpe.
And I am here to discuss with you, ma'am, why you were placed into custody by the Clayton County Police.
Y yo estoy acá en la mañana de hoy, señora, para que hablemos de por qué usted está bajo la custodia del condado de Clayton o por qué la policía la puso bajo custodia en el día de hoy.
Now, Ms. Garcia, please keep in mind that this is being recorded. And so as we talk this morning, there may be certain things that you do not want to disclose to me.
Señora García, tenga pendiente de que esta audiencia está siendo grabada y según nosotros hablamos, puede ser que hay algunas cosas que usted no debería decirme.
Now, Ms. Garcia, you have the right to remain silent.
Señora García, usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio.
You have the right to an attorney.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado.
And if you can't afford one, one will be appointed for you.
Y si usted no pudiese contratarse uno le sería asignado.
You have the right to present evidence against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de presentar pruebas en su contra.
You have the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que sean citados a testificar en su contra.
You have the right to a presumption of innocence.
Usted tiene el derecho a la presunción de inocencia.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Usted tiene el derecho a tener un juicio público sin demora y ante un jurado.
You have the right to an attorney to represent you, and if you cannot afford one, I can consider appointing one for you this morning.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado para que la represente y si usted no pudiese contratar uno, yo podría considerar asignarle uno en la mañana de hoy.
If you are not a U.S. citizen, Ms. Garcia, please keep in mind that these charges this morning may have a negative effect on your status, and so you may want to consult an attorney for immigration after the hearing ends today.
Señora García, por favor, tenga pendiente que si usted no es ciudadana de los Estados Unidos, estos cargos podrían tener un efecto negativo y usted debería de consultar con un abogado después de que esta audiencia termine.
Now, Ms. Garcia, are you currently working?
Señora García, ¿actualmente está usted trabajando?
Sí.
Yes.
And how much money do you earn per month?
¿Y cuánto gana usted por mes?
Pues ahorita no hay mucho trabajo, me pagan como 380, 400 semanal.
Right now, there's not a whole lot of work. So they pay me about $380, $400 per month.
Ms. Garcia, you were charged with one count of driving without a license.
Señora García, a usted se le imputa un cargo de manejar sin licencia de conducir.
And based on the information you provided to me and what I saw in the arrest report, I am going to release you this morning.
Y basado en la información que usted me ha dado y lo que yo vi en el informe del arresto, yo la voy a poner en libertad en la mañana de hoy.
So when you are released, Ms. Garcia, please make sure that you leave your best known address because your next court date will be sent to you in the mail.
O sea que cuando usted la ponga en libertad, señora García, por favor asegúrese de darle a ellos su mejor dirección porque usted va a recibir el próximo citatorio desde el tribunal por correo.
I am going to also appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning, and so you will have a lawyer to assist you on your charge.
O sea que en la mañana de hoy yo le voy a asignar un abogado. O sea que usted va a tener un abogado que la va a ayudar con su caso.
Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señora? No.
All right, ma'am, then that's all I have for you. Good luck to you, and you should be released in a few hours here later today.
Ok, señora, eso es lo que yo tengo, todo lo que tengo para usted. O sea que a usted la deberían de poner en libertad en unas horas más tarde en el día de hoy.
Okay.
Ok.
You walk around. All right, Your Honor, we're gonna start with the rest of the females.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Yes,
Okay, caught up there. I was asking, just confirming that that was the only one.
yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Day, if that's all we have, then I believe you may be excused. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Yep, see you. Okay, that's three arms down. Come off the wall.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, this internet is really acting up here this morning. Okay, so are you Ms. Goodman?
Bibbs, yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Bibbs, yes, sir.
Oh, you Ms. Bibbs, okay. Give me 1 second, Ms. Bibbs. So Ms. Bibbs, you were charged with one count of possession of marijuana under an ounce as a misdemeanor, and one count of driving with violating a red light in that, you didn't stop at the red light. The possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana carries a bond of $1,000. The red light violation carries a bond of $500, ma'am. So your total bond is $1,500, Ms. Bibbs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So I see here that you are working, Ms. Bibbs. About how much money are you making per month?
About 4,500.
You said 3,500?
45.
4,500? Okay. And so because of that, ma'am, I am not going to be able to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning. And so you will, if you would like a lawyer for your case, have to hire your own, okay?
Okay.
Now, the last thing I need to ask you, Ms. Bibbs, is because this is a misdemeanor, ma'am, you have the right to a court-appointed attorney, or you can waive that right to your attorney. Which would you like to do, ma'am? Excuse me, I apologize. Let me start over. Because you are charged with a misdemeanor, you have the right to a preliminary hearing, the hearing I spoke of earlier, or you can waive your right to that preliminary hearing. Would you like to have your hearing, ma'am, or waive it? Now, again, the preliminary hearing is where you are present, the judge is present, as well as the officer who arrested you. It's not your trial, but it's where they go over the evidence to determine if there's enough evidence to move forward against you. If they determine it's not, your case can be dismissed. Doesn't mean it can't be brought back, but it can be dismissed. Or I can skip the hearing and send you right up to the prosecutor.
I guess,
So here's what I'll do, ma'am. Since I know you're have some want to make sure that we do what's best for you, I'm gonna go ahead here this morning and just set the hearing date for you. Now, if you make your bond, you won't have that hearing regardless. But just to protect you, I'm gonna give you the new court date, and then, like I said, if you end up bonding out, then of course your hearing is waived altogether. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, but I have a question. When you say if I end up bonding out, would there be a reason why I can't bond out?
No, not at all. Some people just may not have the money at the time.
Oh,
No, ma'am. But so for right now, I've given you the court date. It's going to be June 17th at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Okay. And again, your bond's $1,500. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Can
All
I
right,
pay
ma'am.
that now?
Yes, ma'am. Once you get back, just speak with the sheriff's office and they will assist you.
Okay, because I did tell them that when they brought me in, could I get my credit card so I can pay my bond? But the officer told me she didn't feel like it.
Okay. Unfortunately, I can't comment on that. I mean, that's
I just wanted to make sure that I can use my credit card and bond out. That's why I'm asking that question.
okay. All right. You hear me there, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then that's all I have for you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And ma'am, what's your name?
Zoe.
All right. So Ms. Collins, you were charged. I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Ms. Collins, you were charged with one count of terroristic threats, ma'am. That is a misdemeanor on this particular charge here. So your bond amount for that is going to be $5,000. Do you understand that, ma'am? Now, who is Kia Cromedy to you?
That's the lady that I tried to get that's the MacBook situation when she was trying to get me to pay more money for my MacBook. And I told her no, because I already paid early. She's the lady that works at Renaissance.
Okay. Well, okay, stop. I don't want you to get too involved. I just want to make sure it wasn't someone you were living with.
No.
So Ms. Collins, because you were charged with a misdemeanor, you do have a right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive your right to your preliminary hearing. Would you like to have your hearing, ma'am, or waive it? Okay. So I am showing you for me to waive your hearing here this morning. So I am going to go ahead and do that. So once you're done here with me, ma'am, the deputies will have a piece of paper that they're going to need for you to sign this morning. Okay.
Okay.
So again, ma'am, your bond amount is $5,000. You have waived your preliminary hearing here this morning. And I've gone ahead, ma'am, and I'm going to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me the sheriff's office. Sorry, wait for-
And your name, ma'am?
Better.
All right, so Ms. Cutter, you were charged with one count of battery on an officer as a felony and one count of obstruction of an officer. The obstruction carries a bond amount, ma'am, of $10,000. The battery, I have dismissed that, ma'am. There was some information that was missing that needed to be on that particular document that was not. And so you are only at this time facing the one charge. Do you understand that?
What charge again was that?
Obstruction of an officer as a felony. Okay.
Of an officer.
I'm sorry.
Said obstruction of an officer.
Yes, ma'am, as a felony.
I'm already, could I say something? I'm already.
No. We don't want to get into, You don't want to start telling me that stuff.
No, I don't want to talk about the case, sir.
Okay, but anything about only about your charges. Do not talk to me about your specific facts of your case or defenses. How can I help you?
Okay, I've already have some things to take care of. I wanted to see if there could be some leniency on the bond.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
So I see here, are you currently working, Ms. Cutter?
No, I was explaining to, I have autism, so my husband takes care of me.
Okay. So I am going to grant you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning as well, ma'am. If you don't make your $10,000 bond, your next court date is going to be June 16th at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom, ma'am. Again, that's June 16th, 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. Your bond is, hold on, let me get through what I've got to get through, Ms. Cutter. Your bond is $10,000, and that will be your court date. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
That means the 10 to 13% of the 10,000, right?
So if you wanted to do a commercial bonding company, you'd be responsible for 12 to 15%. So on that, ma'am, you'd be looking at about 1,500.
Oh, okay, that's what I was, okay, then that's fine.
All right. Good
Okay.
luck to you, ma'am.
Mhm.
And your name, ma'am?
Gloria Gross.
Okay. Give me 1 second, Ms. Gross. Let me see if I can get on here. Ms. Gross, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, deputy.
Yes, sir.
Something is going on with I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is JOTS. I don't know if this is my signal. So I'm gonna have to hold on the JOTS people so I can figure this out. So Goodman, Gross, Peterson, and then Murray and Reed. Can we put them to the back, and then I'll have to figure out, because every time I go to JOTS, it's freezing up here. So I want to get everybody else done, and we'll come back and figure out what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Again, that's Goodman, Gross, Peterson, and then Murray and Reed. All right, and what's your name, ma'am?
Amani Moore.
Amani Moore, okay. So Ms. Moore, you are charged with 1 count of simple battery of family violence. Your bond amount is $2,000, ma'am. You do have a special condition, and that's to stay away from 445 Rosewood Circle. So as I mentioned before, ma'am, if that's somewhere that you were living at the time of this incident, please understand that you cannot return there until and unless your case is closed or your bond is modified. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Now, I am going to allow you to have contact with this individual, Mr. Gaither. Usually I say a stay away from him, but you know, I looked at some information that was provided, and so I'm gonna allow you all to have contact, but it's to be no violent or harassing contact. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
If you violate that bond, please understand that you could be facing additional charges, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, I see here that you are working, ma'am. How much are you earning per month?
I just started, so I haven't got a good estimate.
Okay. So I will go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer free of charge on your case. My last question for you is, because you are charged with a misdemeanor, you have a right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that hearing. Would you like to have it or waive it?
Waive it.
All right, so ma'am, I am showing that you are asking me to waive your hearing this morning. So
Yes.
once you and I are done, the deputies will have a piece of paper for you to sign, and then that'll be all I have for you, Ms. Moore.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am. All right, so we should be on the men off JOTS right now. I think first up, I've got Brown, Anwar Brown off JOTS. Then I've got Campbell.
Brown, right? Yes, sir.
Are you Mr. Brown?
Sir.
All right, so Mr. Brown here, you are charged with 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree as a misdemeanor and 1 count of battery also as a misdemeanor. The cruelty to children, sir, carries a bond of $3,500. On the battery, sir, I am no bonding you this morning. The reason I am no bonding you, sir, is because you are currently on felony probation in Gwinnett County, looks like from 2019. Do you understand that?
Yes, but
Sir, you don't want to talk to me about that.
Okay.
We don't, I can't talk to you about that.
so do I have to hold, or is that just the reason why I'm not getting a bond?
That's the reason why you're not getting a bond. So if in fact that turns out to be incorrect, or your probation since been terminated, just make sure that you speak with your attorney that you're gonna get here. I'm gonna give you free of charge, okay?
Okay, but how can I get a bond on the charge?
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm sorry.
You gotta let me get to it.
Okay,
So what's gonna happen is you're getting attorney free of charge. I'm
Okay.
also giving you 2 court dates. Your first court date is going to be June 16th at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. That's your preliminary hearing date, okay? Your next court date after that is going to be June 20th. That is going to be the day that they can reconsider bond on your case. So you'll have the opportunity to have someone take a look at it again. But as of today, that's going to be where you are, okay?
But even though I'm not under violation and I don't have a home.
Sir, you got to hear what I'm saying to you.
I
You're
understand.
being arrested today created a violation. Or not today, excuse me, not being arrested, but this today created a violation. So, I mean, that's going to be up to your probation officer if they determine that they're going to actually take a warrant out. But by virtue of what happened today, you are now in violation. Or excuse me, what happened yesterday, allegedly. So they can put a hold on you until they decide if they want to bring a warrant out against you or not. So again, 2 court dates, the 17th, of June for the preliminary hearing, and then the 20th for the bond hearing. Okay?
I'm gonna have to sit here until then.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you, Mr. Brown.
Okay.
All right. Next up should be I've got Mr. Campbell. Are you Mr. Campbell? All right, so Mr. Campbell, you were charged with 1 count of aggravated assault as a felony, 1 count of battery family violence as a misdemeanor, 1 count of false imprisonment, 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, 1 count of theft of receipt of stolen property of a firearm, and a felony terroristic threat. The battery family violence as a misdemeanor carries a bond of $5,000, sir. The remaining charges, I am no bonding you on this morning. You will have an opportunity for someone to consider your bond at a later date. And so I'm going to give you a couple of court dates here. However, before I do that, your special conditions, if you are granted bond, are to stay away from Nicole Smith and also to stay away from 4379 Lot 47 at Highway 42. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, as to your court dates, your first court date is going to be your preliminary hearing. That is going to be on June 16th at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Again, that's June 16th, 8:30 a.m. and that's via Zoom. Your next court date is going to be your bond hearing. That's going to be June 20th at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Are you currently working, sir?
Yes, sir.
And how much money are you making per month?
$3,000.
Okay. Do you know if you'll still have that job if you're given bond?
Yes, sir. I got my own business.
How many children do you have, if any?
5.
Huh?
5.
Okay. So I am going to, sir, go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. Excuse me. So you will have a lawyer free of charge to assist you on your case, okay?
Yes, sir.
So again, you got 2 court dates. It's going to be the 16th, then it's going to be the 20th for that bond hearing, the 16th being your prelim. You're on a no bond status this morning, except for the charge of battery family violence at $5,000, and you were to stay away from Nicole Smith and the address where this allegedly happened. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I have Mr. Clayton, and then behind that, I have Darren Duthit, and then Evans. Are you Mr. Clayton?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Clayton, you were charged with 1 count of misdemeanor DUI, 1 count of driving with a suspended license, hit and run, improper lane change, and driving with an open container. Those are all misdemeanors, sir. Because they are misdemeanors, you have a right to a preliminary hearing that I spoke of earlier, or you can waive your right to that hearing. Would you like to have your hearing or waive it?
If I waive it, what happens?
It just speeds up your case to the prosecutor a little bit quicker.
So if I have it, when I have it?
It'll be a month from now on the 17th. That's if you don't make bond. If you make bond, it automatically goes away.
But I got a probation warrant.
Okay, well then you don't want to tell me that. So you'll be sitting here then. Let me go ahead and set that court date for you. It's going to be June 17th at 8:30 a.m. for your prelim via Zoom. Now on your bond, DUI carries a bond of $5,000. Note the suspended license, $1,500. Improper lane change, $500. Hit and run, $2,500. An open container also carries a bond of $500, sir. So your total bond here, $10,500. Do you understand that? Mr. Clayton, do you hear me?
Sure.
All right, sir. So again, $10,500 on the bond. I've approved all the charges. I'm giving you an attorney free of charge. The last thing I need to tell you, sir, if and when you do make bond, I am adding a special condition that you submit to at least 2 random drug and alcohol screens per month through probation. At your expense. Good luck to you, sir.
Is there any kind of way that I might can
No,
get
sir. No,
program?
sir. No, sir. Not at this time.
755.
All right, so again, Mr. Duth, I have Duth next, then Evans.
They don't need to make no sense to make a bond.
All right, are you Mr. Darren Duth?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor, 1 count of public transit prohibit activities. Those are both misdemeanors, sir. Because you are charged with misdemeanors, you have the right to a preliminary hearing that I spoke of earlier, or you can waive your right to that hearing. Would you like to have the hearing, sir, or waive it?
Okay, now if I waive it, what happened?
It just speeds up your case. I'll send it to the prosecutor a little quicker.
Okay, I'll waive it.
All right, sir. So I am showing you've asked me to waive your hearing this morning. So because you are asking me to waive it, when you and I are done, that means the deputy there to your right, my left, will have a piece of paper for you to sign. Okay?
Okay,
Any questions of me, sir?
no, sir.
All right, sir. And that's all I have. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up should be Evans.
Right here. Okay. No, you're fine.
Are you Mr. Evans?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then after Evans, I've got Johnson, and after Johnson, Jones. All right, so Mr. Evans, you were charged with 1 count of entering an auto as a felony and 1 count of misdemeanor theft by taking. The felony entering auto carries a bond of $7,500. The bond on the theft by taking is $2,000. So your total bond, sir, is $9,500. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir. Can I ask you a question?
Let me get through what I've got, and then I'll answer any questions you got for me. Now, because of the information you provided, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So you will have a lawyer free of charge to assist you on your case. Now, because you are charged with a felony, if you do not make your bond, sir, your next court date will be June 16th at 8:30 a.m., and that'll be via Zoom. Again, that'll be June 16th, 8:30 a.m., and that'll be via Zoom on your $9,500 bond. All right, sir, now I think you had some questions. How can I help you?
Well, down have.
Yes, sir. I was already arrested the day before. I just came down to get my property.
Okay, so you're talking about the facts of your case. Remember what I said, I can't get into that. Remember, this is being recorded, so you don't want to talk to me about that. Talk to your lawyer I just gave you, so he'll be able to help you with that.
Okay, when I get a chance to talk to the lawyer.
I can't tell you how quickly they get to you, but I would say in the next week.
I can't get
Okay.
out.
I'm sorry.
Can't get out before then. I was already out. I just
So
came.
again, you don't want to talk to me about that, sir. I can't discuss that. I've talked to you about all I can this morning. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Next up should be Johnson and then Jones. Are you David Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, you were charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling as a misdemeanor, 1 count of possession of less than 1 ounce as a misdemeanor. They each carry a bond of $1,000, so your total bond is $2,000, sir. I've appointed you a court-appointed lawyer free of charge to assist you on your case. And so just one last question for you, Mr. Johnson. Because you were charged with misdemeanors, you have the right to have a preliminary hearing, or you can waive the hearing. Would you like to have it or waive it?
Waive it.
All right, sir. So I am showing you are asking me to waive your preliminary hearing this morning. And as such, the deputy will have a piece of paper for you to sign. Once you sign that piece of paper, you'll be free. I'll be done with you today. Thank you, sir.
I can ask you a question real quick.
Not if it's an OR bond. It's not going to happen.
Hi, I appreciate it.
All right, next up should be Mr. Jones. All right, are you Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Jones, you were charged with 1 count of driving with a suspended license, one count of violating a stop sign, and driving with a license not on person. Now, because of the information you provided to me here this morning, sir, I am going to go ahead and release you this morning. And so you will be released. Now, let me say something, Mr. Jones. It doesn't mean your case is going away. All that simply means is that you will be out until your next court date, okay? And so it means that you'll need to make sure that whatever your best address is, that they have it on file at the clerk's office before you, or at the sheriff's office before you leave, okay?
Okay,
All right, good luck to you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you. Next up should be Orlith. Then I have Stinson, I believe. Right, is it Mr. Leacham, Orellis Leacham?
It's Aurelius.
Orellis, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Orellis, I have you here charged with one count of theft by taking as a felony, one count of cruelty to children in the second degree. One count of cruelty to children in the second degree as a felony, one count of theft by taking as a misdemeanor, and one count of battery family violence also as a misdemeanor. Now, the theft by taking carries a bond amount of $2,000, the cruelty to children $2,500, the battery family violence $3,500. So your total bond, sir, is $8,000. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You do have special conditions, sir, and they are to stay away from Tamara Nesmith and the address of 446 Garden Walk Boulevard. Do you understand that?
It's 746, not 446.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, you're right. 746. And that's what I wrote. Thank you for being honest. Sir, because you are charged with a felony here, if you don't make that bond that you and I just spoke about, your next court date will be your preliminary hearing, and that will occur on June 16th at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Again, that will be June 16th, 8:30 a.m., and that will be via Zoom if you do not make the $8,000 bond, okay?
It's no way we can lower the
No,
bond.
no, sir. No, sir. Mm-mm. Good luck to you, sir.
All
Right.
So the last two I think I've got on are Stinson and Williams, and then we'll figure this Jots thing out. All right, so are you Mr. Stinson?
Yeah, I'm Mr. Nelson.
Mr. Stinson, I'm doing, sir. You are charged with one count of criminal damage in the second degree, sir. That is a felony. Because you are charged with a felony, sir, you will have a preliminary hearing date. So if you don't make the bond that I'm going to give you, your next court date, Mr. Stinson, is going to be June 16th at 8:30 a.m., and that'll be via Zoom. Again, that'll be June 16th, 8:30 a.m., and that'll be via Zoom. Do you understand that, sir? Did you hear me, Mr. Stinson?
June 16th, 8:30 a.m.?
Yes, sir. That's going to be your preliminary hearing if you don't make the bond I'm going to give you, okay? Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So now, sir, after your bond amount, let me give you that. So, Mr. Stinson, your bond amount is $3,000. You do have special conditions, sir, and they are to stay away from a Miss Tanisha Goodwine and the residence that you all allegedly were living at together. Now, as I said before, if this is somewhere that you were living at prior to this happening, please understand that if you make your bond, you can only go back there, but you can only go back with the sheriff's office to pick up any items that belong to you, okay? So until your case is closed, please don't return to that piece of property. Do you understand? Sir?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I've given you a lawyer free of charge to help you on your case. Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
No.
All right, good luck to you, sir. And then last, I've got Williams. Are you Yancey Williams?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Williams, you are charged here with one count of hit and run as a misdemeanor, one count of improper passing. The hit and run carries a bond of $2,500, the improper passing $500, for a total bond of $3,000. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you are charged with misdemeanors, sir, you have a right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that right to the hearing. Would you like to have your hearing, sir, or waive it?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
When I'm gonna bond out, so how do that work?
So if you bond out, sir, then the hearing is automatically waived.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with this. I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay, with the waiver. All right, so I am showing that you are asking me to waive your preliminary hearing this morning. And so once you and I are done, the deputies to your right, my left, will have a piece of paper for you to sign, okay?
Yes, sir.
I have looked at the information you provided here this morning, sir. And based on the information you provide, I am gonna go ahead and appoint you a lawyer free of charge. And so you will have a lawyer to assist you on your case, without having to pay for it out of pocket. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, and that's all I have for you. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
So deputy, that should just be left with all the people on Jock.
Yes, sir.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try something again here. And what's your name, ma'am?
My, Deputy Thomas.
You did, oh, couldn't see your uniform. I apologize. You just stand there for 1 second. Every time I connect, I'm losing you guys. Can you?
Your screen, just froze.
Okay, yep, now you hear me, and now you're back on. Okay. I'm gonna turn off the internet and then go to a different internet source, so you all might get kicked out, and then I'll just come back in and bring you back, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. Can you hear me, deputy? You're on mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me try to get back on here with this.
Right. Well. Right, so how you get back on time? One more. All right, now.
Just explain to them what jobs is.
We don't know what it is.
It's like a different calendar.
No, that just depends on how the officer did the report.
Oh, yeah.
If nothing
I
different.
can't do nothing bad. You scared?
It just depends on the officer.
Deputy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can't see you.
Okay.
I can hear
Yep.
you.
Yeah, I've got it off right now. Okay, so I think I figured it out. Okay, I should be ready for the females.
Can we do the first two males first? We already pulled them.
Sure, Murray and Reed, I think is who they are.
Yes.
Yep, let's go ahead and knock them out. No
Which
problem.
one you want first? It don't matter.
Murray will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Murray.
Are you Mr. Murray?
Sir.
So, Mr. Murray, you are charged here with 1 count of possession of a controlled substance as a felony, 1 count of possession of drug-related objects as a misdemeanor. Because you were charged with a felony, sir, I'm going to give you a bond this morning, but if you fail to make your bond, your next court date is going to be June 16th at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Again, that's June 16th, 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now as to your bond amount here, sir, on the felony drugs, it's $3,500. On the drug-related objects, it's $500. And so your total bond, sir, is going to be $4,000. Now, I've looked over the information here you provided here this morning on your court-appointed sheet this morning. And so based on the information you provided, I am going to go ahead and give you a lawyer free of charge. And so you will not have to pay for one as it relates to your case, okay?
Okay. Thank
Do you
you.
have any other questions of me about anything, sir?
Is that the lowest bond? At the time I just can't afford it. It's really not even.
As far as, you mean, you're saying, is the bond going to get any lower than that?
Any possibility?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay,
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
thank you.
Your Honor, for your information, they can't sign Johnson until after 11
Yeah.
o'clock.
I see that. And I don't know how to.
It has to be at the time change that says 10. You start at 2 o'clock on Johnson.
Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, and they told me 10. Okay, so I guess I can go. What we can do, deputies, is go ahead and get through them, and then right at 11, what I'll do, as soon as it hits 11, I'll just sign everybody, and then you can have them sign.
Yes, sir.
All right, so if you want to go ahead and bring up, okay. Are you Mr. Reed?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Reed, you are charged with 1 count of seatbelt violation, 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and 1 count of driving with a suspended license. These are all misdemeanors, sir. Now, because you are charged with misdemeanors, you have the right to a preliminary hearing, Mr. Reed, or you can waive that right to that hearing. Would you like to have the hearing or waive it?
Waive it.
All right, so I am showing that you are asking me to waive your hearing, and you are not working. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning. And so you will have a lawyer free of charge to assist you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, as to the bond, sir, on the seatbelt violation, your bond is $500. The marijuana is $1,500. The suspended license, $1,500. And so your total bond, sir, is $3,500, okay?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me about anything, sir?
No, you said 3,500, right?
Yes, sir, $3,500.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. You have a good one. Okay, then I have Gross, Goodman, and Peterson. All right, Ms. Gross, again, sorry about earlier, but my name is Judge Thorpe again, and we're just going to go over your first appearance charges here this morning. Ma'am, you are charged with 1 count of felony entering an auto. So I'm going to give you a bond here this morning, but if you fail to make your bond, ma'am, your next court date is going to be June 16th at 8:30 a.m., and that'll be via Zoom, okay? Now,
sir.
because, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I say yes, sir.
Okay. Now, your bond amount on this one charge is $3,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And I am going to give you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning, Ms. Gross, and so you will have a lawyer free of charge to assist you on your case, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
And are you Ms. Goodman?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Goodman, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor. I see here with the information you provided, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. Because you are charged with a misdemeanor, ma'am, you have the right to have your preliminary hearing, or you can waive your preliminary hearing. Would you like to have it or waive it, ma'am?
I would like to have it.
All right, so then your next court date, if you don't make your bond, is going to be June 17th at 8:30 a.m., and that'll be via Zoom. Again, that'll be June 13th, 8:30 a.m., and that'll be via Zoom, okay?
Quick question. So if I
Yes,
do
ma'am.
make my bond hearing, if I do pay my bond, I don't got
Then,
to.
yep, the preliminary hearing automatically goes away.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Wait, what's my bond amount?
Well, I'm sorry, I thought I gave it to you. That 1 count of criminal trespass carries a bond of $2,500, and you're to stay away from 7147 Mount Zion Circle.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
That was my old apartment, so all my stuff there.
And
Do I
so,
still get the 10 days to go there with a police officer?
exactly. So if you make that bond in the next day or two, then make sure you contact the sheriff's office here in Clayton County, and they will escort you. So they'll go with you, that you make sure that nothing happens. But you can only go when they say that.
We got courtesy officers in our neighborhood. That's
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You want the sheriff's office. It's got to be the sheriff, or you can be subjected to an arrest. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yes, ma'am. And then I think that leaves us at Peterson. All right, are you Miss Peterson?
Yes.
Miss Peterson, you are charged here with 1 count of terroristic threats as a felony, 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree as a felony, and 1 count of obstruction of an officer also as a felony. So because you are charged with a felony, ma'am, I'm going to give you a court date here this morning for a preliminary hearing. But if you make the bond that I give you, please understand that that preliminary hearing is automatically waived, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, you do have, based on the information you provided, I'm going to go ahead and appoint a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am. So you will get a lawyer free of charge to assist you. Now, as to your bond amount, ma'am, your bond amount is $5,000 on terroristic threats, $3,000 on the criminal damage, and $2,500 on the obstruction, for a total bond of $10,500. You do have special conditions, and they are to stay away from the alleged place where this happened, 5930 A204 Highway 85. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
My stuff was left there. It was a group home I was staying in for my mental.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
like, yes, they supposed to have ran the cameras there, but they did not do that. Because
Okay.
based on the terrorist threat, I supposed to be in charge with family violence. That's what the officer was saying. And
So, okay, so first thing, remember, we can't get into the specifics of your case. So let's not talk about that. So I'm not going to get into that stuff. But more importantly, if you have items there that you are concerned about that should be returned to you, or you want to try to get those, what you can do is, once we are done here today, if and when you make your bond, all you would have to do is reach out to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's office will assist you in making sure that you get those items. Okay?
okay, and how much is my bond again? Well, you said I got bond for all 3 of my charges.
Yes, ma'am. You want me to go over it with you again?
Yes, please.
So the terroristic threat is a bond of $5,000. Criminal damage is $3,000. The obstruction is $2,500. So your total bond is $10,500. And then to stay away from there, unless you are with the sheriff's office.
Okay, and I can go through a bonding company. So
Yes, ma'am. If you
okay.
go to a bonding company, the bond that you'd be responsible for would be about $1,300.
If I go through a bond company, it'd be about 1,300.
Yes, ma'am, about $1,300.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, so deputies, it's 10:53. So as soon as it hits 11, I'll go ahead and sign, and then I'll find out why it's doing that later today. But right at 11, I'll just sign everyone.
Can you ask them my next day of court?
It'll come in the mail if you bond out.
16.
No, I'm saying if I don't get out.
666.
16. Yep.
16,
All
okay.
right.
And
All
I
right.
got on that day?
That's good. And we'll stand by for 7 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Deputy, the ladies are done and ready to sign.
Yes, sir. Everyone is signing now.
Okay.
Yep. Barbara.
All right, you should be good to go.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, just give me.